All right, guys, it's Tuesday. It's that time that we usually do this live thing. So tonight we've got something really, really special planned. Now, my buddy over here was on the show before when I was, still kind of new at doing this wonderful stuff. I invited, now he's going by Duke Justice back, and he was gracious enough to give us some time tonight. But before we get everything going tonight, guys, I know there's been so much drama recently. There's been some ups and downs. There's been silly things going on. We're not going to touch on any of that tonight. I really don't care what company did what. I don't care who saw what in the news. I don't care. We're here to just have a little bit of fun. And just because I'm wearing that doesn't mean I'm sponsored by them or affiliated with them or paid by them. Unless, Black Rifle, you guys are watching and want to help support a vet. But still. All right. Now, this man over here on my right, as you saw by the thing, I called him Everyday Terry. I forgot he switched up some stuff, so that's on me.
Well, we could talk about that at some point.
He is one of the founders of what I seriously think is one of the best everyday carry communities on Facebook, and it's called Stately Wolves. Last week,
Stately EDC.
Damn it! I'm tired. Leave me alone. See, that's what I get for looking at that a little bit ago.
No, right? You're good. You're good.
Yeah, it's Stately EDC. We had one of the founders on last week, one of the other founders on, and we keep trying to get the pump jockey on, but he's all, the wife's got to have a shift, and, I'm just not really that important. I don't know why you want to talk to me. Chuck, looking at you. Man up. Get your bunker gear on. Let's go. Now, Duke, my brother, I warned you in the green room. Introduce yourself to the world. That's your one freebie for the night.
Okay. My real name is Terry, Terry Tobian. You can find me on Instagram at Everyday Terry. Duke Justice is a nickname that I've been going by for about a year now, at least online, for personal reasons in terms of it's the internet, and you don't necessarily want all your information out there, that sort of thing. As Chris said, I am one of the founders of Stately EDC. And yes, Stately Wolves is a part of that. That is technically the original name of what me and my two buddies, Chuck and Paul, and my wife and Paul's wife were trying to start when we created that. So that's kind of the basis of the community is Stately Wolves, and then it turned into Stately EDC, and yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yes, it is.
Let's see what else. I'm married. I have 2 fur babies. Been working from home the last, year and a half, as everybody else, I'm sure.
Right.
I collect EDC. I enjoy watching movies and whatnot, and binging with my wife. So that's who I am, right? And as life goes on, different things change here and there, and yeah.
Okay, guys, he's being modest. Now I'm gonna have a little bit of fun at his expense. All right. Other than his glorious salt and pepper beard, and don't think I haven't been a fan of that since you let it grow out. And yes, for the record, when he talked about shaving it, I threatened to stab him. So, all right. I even showed him the blade I was going to use too.
Oh, God.
He's married to an amazing woman who has put up with me for years and has only really had to bring out the beating stick once or twice. So, I was wondering if she was watching. Kimberly, I have nothing but love for you. Now, one of the things I love about Stately EDC, it has an incredible motto to it. It's not what you carry, it's how you carry yourself. And I think it speaks volumes, because you will go in other groups online, and those of you in the beard community, you know exactly what I'm about to talk about. You can get in that group, you can make a disagreement with a post, and you have a 9,000-page attack forum going on. It doesn't happen in Stately EDC. Everybody seems to want to raise the standard. They want to help people. And I remember when, at that point, he was Sweeney Todd. He came in, he only had a straight edge razor that he was carrying.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I forgot that he went by Sweeney Todd.
Yeah. And he got me so hooked on that damn razor by Boker, I think it is, or Cold Steel, whatever. He got me so hooked on it. I bought it, thought it was cool. And yes, guys, that's the one I did send to Bearded Motivation years ago that you've seen in some of his videos. I figure a barber, Sweeney Todd, needs a good razor, so I sent him a Sweeney Todd. It was just perfect. I love the fact that they foster a family in there. They have their own show that goes on inside of Stately, EDC. It's called The Experience.
Oh yeah, yep.
It usually is an experience. Because,
typically,
yeah, you never know what's going to happen.
You really don't. And the thing with that though is, when we first started that, like, we didn't know that it was going to turn into what it kind of turned into.
Yeah.
It was just me doing a live stream, just hanging out and drinking and pulling people in and just hanging out in the live stream, kind of like what Chris does here with the guests and whatnot. And it turned into its own little beast. I mean, because we were drinking, just the most off the wall things would be said, and people developed nicknames, and it literally was an experience. I think the longest one we did, and part of why it was the experience was because of how long they went. It wasn't just an hour. It wasn't 2 hours. The longest one we did, I think, was 6.5 hours.
Yeah.
Straight, like no break. Well, there might have been a break because of, I think at the time Facebook had a time limit to 4 hours, so we had to like cut video and restart it and whatnot. But yeah, I think it went for 6.5 hours, and yeah, that it is turned into it's a good time. People just join. We just shoot the shit and
they join worldwide. Okay, so it's not like this Facebook group is strictly U.S. only. Right. There's people in there from Saudi Arabia. You've got people in there from Malaysia, UK, Ireland. You've got people from Australia.
Yeah, all over the world.
Yeah, you got people worldwide, and when they come in, it's like you're hanging with family. And I think that's a great testimony to what you guys have created in there, which is another reason why I want you in. And if anybody goes, oh, he's just sucking up, he's sucking up. No, I already did that a while ago. Okay.
Yep.
I got mine out of the way early.
No, truth be told, everybody is welcome to join. And as long as you're a decent human being and, you're the kind of person that wants to foster a good environment, and you're not just there to troll and, start trouble and things like that, it's a good time, and everybody's welcome. And as long as you're not, doing that sort of stuff, you'll make friends, and you'll learn some stuff, and you'll be a part of the community.
Oh, look who's permafrosted ass got out of Canada for a moment, finally found my show. Carl.
Well, I did kind of plug it in the group. I did make sure that I let people know that I was going to be on. I had seen last week you make the post about having a paramedic on.
First responder.
Or first responder, right. And the first thought in my head was, it's probably Paul. and then I tuned in, and sure enough, there he was. I was like, all right.
Yeah, he was a great guest. We got to talk a lot of different things, and yeah.
Well, I was just like, he didn't even tell me that he was doing it. I would have joined in a lot sooner. I would have like marked my calendar for it.
Now, I know we've used this an acronym all night long, but guys, if you don't know, EDC, Echo Delta Charlie, stands for Everyday Carry. It's just a way to break it down and make it a little an acronym. All right, being ex-military, and acronyms are very popular. All of us do this in some form or another, whether it's your wallet, your watch, your wedding ring, a pair of sunglasses, a hat. We all leave the house with something that we carry every day. Now, there's some people who like to take it a little bit further and try to be prepared for eventualities. I will say this, lots of people, when you start, it's like you're playing Call of Duty. You try to carry 32 knives and 85 pry bars and, oh my God, I got to have this, I got to have that. And then you start to pare it down to what you're actually going to use.
Or at least things that you think you're going to use. I mean, there are some people that we know that, do still carry pockets loads,
Okay, we're not going to mention Dog Monster,
no,
all right?
No,
I'll be here for hours with his pocket, though.
Right, and we don't need, we don't have to name names, but those are all things that he legitimately thinks that he's going to need at some point in the day, and that's fine. That's perfect, because he puts himself in situations, whether it's hiking or camping or going out in the woods, he more than likely is going to need a lot of that stuff. So more power to him.
True, and just like our buddy Murder Basement, but still,
there's found on the experience.
This person right here, I gave him that one.
Mm-hmm.
Me.
You did kind of come up with a lot of the nicknames.
It was fun. They fit.
Yeah.
Like Paul with panda eyes. And I even replaced Caitlin's. Okay, she got a little bit offended, so I kind of had to replace that one. It's perfectly okay, Iron Wings. Glad to have you here, man.
But yeah, I mean,
Carl, you keep believing that. It's okay. You're Canadian. It's okay.
But to Chris's point, like, yeah, it is just the things that you normally would carry with you day to day. It doesn't have to be a lot, and it certainly can be a little bit of stuff here and there, or if you want to go so far as to carry, pounds of stuff, all more power to you.
Yeah, but always remember, and I say this a lot, ounces equal pounds, pounds equal pain. Because when you're packing a lot,
that's true.
You're gonna feel it,
Cargo pockets help.
Well, yeah. And so do like neck knives, because you wear them around your neck and other, fun little things. But I asked Paul about this. What is a typical Terry carry on a daily? God, say that 5 times fast. Terry carry on a daily basis.
Typically, it's it's singular knife, my wallet, pry bar, flashlight. I mean, I can show you what I had on me today. Today I had my Lion Steel jack. It's a blade, and then it also has a screwdriver and bottle opener on it.
God, bottle openers, they're everywhere.
What's that?
Bottle openers, they're freaking everywhere.
They are everywhere. My Lynch Northwest pry bar, all access pass. This is the 1.5 in titanium.
Nice.
I have my Stately Wolves multi-wolf right there. This is also titanium, and then it has a titanium bead on it. For those of the uninitiated, with it being Tuesday, it's Titanium Tuesday or TI Tuesday. So yeah. I typically will pull out some of the titanium things that I have and post and carry those. And then I have my Olight Warrior Mini in titanium.
Okay, we're gonna play that game. Okay, I got you.
And then
I got you.
And then my wallet, just a easy leather wallet that a buddy made for me. My Stately Hank.
Hey, Aaron Rodgers. Sweet.
This is the Verdant, I think, which is basically green. I think that's all I had on me today. I feel like I had a pen, but I might not have. But yeah, I mean, typically, like I said, a pry bar, some sort of bottle opener, a knife, a flashlight, a wallet, my keys, which are upstairs, and a pen. The pen that I've been carrying with me these days is this. I don't know if the camera will pick it up. It's the Quaco Brass Sport. It's a fountain pen.
Oh, sweet.
And it works very well.
Glad to have you here, Aaron. So for me, guys, Carl, yeah, a wallet from Canada, the pop-off
I was
leather.
actually gonna ask you to do a pocket dump. I figured do a little bit of the experience on
Yeah, it's only fair.
your show.
Only fair. You know, pop-off leather wallet. At first, it was a gift from those guys. They contacted me and went, "Hey, we like your channel. We like what you're doing. It is okay if we send you something." And they gave me a list of stuff I could choose. I was like, "Okay, a front pocket wallet, which I've never really carried." And to be honest, after I did the review, I didn't carry it that much until they came out with this little guy, an RFID blocker.
Mm.
So because we've had twice now where my debit card information has been stolen, I am very passionate about making sure certain things are protected. While I understand the cards with the chips on them really are RFID unhack, it's just you can't really hack them with the RFID crap. I don't want to take that chance. I don't.
That's fair.
And yes, I do carry this around for fun now. I've got one as well. I got them on the second run because I was stupid and forgot to order them on the first. I really like this little guy. Hashtag back to pack. Now, just for Terry, yes, I carry a flashlight too. The Olight Warrior X. I really like this one because when my kids are really screwing up, you just hit them with that spotlight and that floodlight, and they're like,
dude, if you can get it, the Warrior Turbo is where it's at. That thing that throws a beam very far. Like it's a well-made flashlight.
Sweet, I'm gonna have to get one. Now, I do have one of Mateo's pry bars, but I'm so passionate about that thing and don't want anything bad happening to it. I've been carrying like the Gerber pry bird. No, it's gonna be whatever. It's the new fancy thing from Gerber, where it's got the X-Acto blade on the inside and the pry bar on the end.
Isn't that what it's called, the pry bird?
See, I'm thinking pry bird is the smaller one with the X-Acto.
No, I said pry bird.
Okay, well, it's one of those.
Oh.
It came in handy today.
I thought that's what that's called, but I could be very wrong. I can look it up though.
They made two, so it came in handy today when I had to take apart an upright air conditioner and clean it out. Very, very, very handy. This week I've been screwing around with a Buck Knives Vantage.
That I like that. That's kind of similar to the CRKT. What is it? I want to say Atticus.
I got this one simply because of the purple wood handles.
Yeah,
I really like the way that looked. Yeah, I think it's Prybrid Utility or something like that.
It is Prybrid, BRID.
Okay, and because I've been screwing around with other companies trying to get lower end blades on the channel and not break my bank, I got that one by Cancu. And if you guys have been watching my channel, Cancu's, you know it's a knockoff of something. And I swear to God, this reminds me of something from 511 Tactical, but I can't find it. So I really can't comment on that in my video. But the thing I thought right away was stupid is it came with a bead chain to hang around your neck. Who's going to want a neck knife that pulls from the side like that?
That's funny.
Now, if you guys have been watching the channel, I had to get yet another one of the Cancun knockoffs from Doug Marcaida. I mean, it's a great itty-bitty little thing. I do not want to pay $140 for the real one of this, but it's still giving me something else, and I should have paid attention. It's got serrations basically all the way up the blade. For those of you who like serrations, hey, you get hooked up. For those of you who don't, kind of like me, $20, no big deal. Another weird one by Cancu. It's like a bigger brother of one I brought to the channel before. What I like is they give you the little half tech locks, so I can easily pull that off and replace it on another blade. And the last one I've been screwing around with because some people suggested it is something from Malisong. Just a little fixed blade Tonto. Do I think it's really D2 steel for $20? No. even though it's got the little D2 marking right there. But still, you know.
Well, that's the thing when you're that you have to you risk that with knockoffs.
Well, yeah.
I mean, you're either getting a decent user knife or you're getting something that's just garbage. I mean, I don't typically for myself go after clone. Well, so is it a knockoff where like some company licensed it from the original maker and then produced something similar, or is it a true clone?
This one is seriously a true clone of the Bastianelli Knives Doug Marcaida collaboration. This is one of Doug's 4 aces. Okay. So if you go to, oh Lord, what is it? Find Doug Marcaida on Instagram. You can go to his shop. You'll see that blade, the full Bastianelli Knives version.
Okay.
So this is a direct clone. I even did a video recently about clones of clones that I found. So that made me laugh. Where you go looking for, you go looking for one, you pull it up. There's another company selling the exact same blade with the exact same marketing campaign, the exact same pictures, and the exact same everything.
Mm-hmm.
So you got a clone of a clone, and that made me laugh.
That is one thing about the EDC community that kind of is a bummer. Is there are a lot of clones out there. Now, don't get me wrong. For somebody that's just kind of getting into it and they want to try something out, but they don't necessarily want to pay the big bucks before they try it out, but then eventually go and get the real thing.
I have no issue with that.
I mean, what's that?
I've got no issue with that if they're trying it out.
Right.
They're going to go.
And I don't either, but I don't know. I have mixed feelings when it comes to clones, just because I probably could have mentioned this earlier in my intro, but I dabble in graphic design, and
I hadn't forgot about that guy.
I dabble in graphic design, and I've had some of my designs stolen from me and produced for other people's personal gain, and so I have mixed feelings when it comes to clones and things like that. So
I got to admit, I really love that guy, and I've never forgotten about him. Where he publicly challenged you to take him on.
Oh my goodness!
You've got his artwork, you freaking moron.
Well, the killer was the one design that was basically ripped off. The guy posted his copy of it in Stately.
Yeah,
and then yelled at me for hoarding the design. Like, it's my design. I came up with it. What do you mean I have to share it with the masses? No, I don't. So for those of you that don't know, I created this design. It's a badge design. I won't really go too much into it, but the guy basically copied the design and produced his own badges because I wasn't at the time ready to mass produce them. I'm sorry. Mine was the one that I did was made out of solid brass and was not cheap. So I didn't feel like mass producing a bunch of them just to have a stock of something that nobody was going to buy because it was going to be, $70 to, purchase. I'm not that guy. I'm not going to do that to you. So I'm not going to, but this guy goes off and has a bunch made in like some cheap metal and he's trying to sell them in a group that I helped found. Like, you don't do that. And then he yells at me over it. I'm like, come on, man.
Yeah, Carl, I think that one was before your time, bro. Seriously, I do.
It's still in there. We left it up there, so you can find it.
That one has always stuck with me just because the audacity to copy somebody's work.
Yes, absolutely. The audacity.
And then to bitch him out because he's calling you out on copying his work. I was just, wow, you cannot make this one up.
Yeah, he's just trying to, I mean, his whole thing was, well, you're not going to share it, so I'm just going to do it. And I'm like, that's not how it works. I get that oh my goodness. You're going to get me all riled up. Not that I'm not already a little bit, but yeah, no, it was a ridiculous situation that I think On our end, it was handled pretty well. On his end, it showed his character, like
Yes. Yes.
it showed a lot of people who he was, and suffice it to say, he got booted from the group real quick.
But now, switching topics because I can, and it's kind of fun. We're
Well,
going to talk
it's
about
your
that
show, so you
glorious.
should do whatever you want.
See, every time I do what I want, I usually get in trouble. But still,
Well,
I know, but I'm trying to be better. I really am. I'm turning 50 this year. I may want to see one of my kids move out of my house. Just may want to be alive for that. But we're
sure.
going to talk about that glorious beard.
Oh God.
Yes.
All right.
We're going to throw you on the spot, bro. What kind of routine do you have for that thing? Are you just like a get up in the morning? You're like, it's good.
Not quite. And actually, I did kind of trim it the other day, a little bit. I don't know. It gets to a point where it's just, I don't know about everybody else with a longer beard, but it gets to a length where it gets difficult to eat food. Okay, like it just ends up just everywhere. And I'm just like, okay, I'm kind of like, I'm the guy that doesn't like stuff on my hands. So like if I'm working on something and I get oil on there, I have to go wash my hands right away, or glue, or whatever. I just can't do it. But my routine is, I'll shower, I'll wash my upper face with, cleanser or whatever, but then I'll wash my beard with beard soap. I use a beard soap from Joe Miller, or Miller's Original.
Miller's Original Beard Balm Company. Yep. Great stuff.
Great stuff. A tobacco, sandalwood, bourbon scent or flavor or whatever you want to call it. And part of the reason why I use that is I like the way that it makes my beard feel when I'm, drying it off and cleaning it and whatever.
Yes.
But I do blow dry my beard, just because my beard does get around the jawline. It gets a little bit curly. Nice. So if I don't blow dry it, it'll just kind of like go in and curl up. And then I use balm during the day. After I'm done like blow drying or whatever, I'll put some balm in, and then I'll blow dry it again just to kind of melt it in and get it to set in there. And then at night I'll put in oil, because I don't really like the oil on my face during the day.
Okay.
So I'll put oil in just before I go to bed, just so that it can, get into my skin and kind of sit in there. And I think that for me, at least, I feel like it works the best.
You see, and there you go. If that's what works for you, screw anybody else who tries to tell you any different.
And I think I do enough with it during the day to kind of protect it to where it there's kind of a trade-off. And I think most people would probably do the oil during the day.
Yes, that's how I start, is oil.
I can't do it, because I'm one of those people that will go like this through the day. And again, I don't want the oil all over my hands.
No, I get it. And a little trick, if you're doing this 20 minutes after you apply oil and you have the Exxon Valdez in your hand, you've used way too much. Well,
no, it's not just that, but like even if there's like just a hint of oil, I can feel it. Like it's
okay.
It's an OCD.
I'm going to pick on you about that in a moment, but still, I want to get this one taken care of. Iron Wings, bro. Yeah, I remember the uproar that happened over that. Everyone was like tagging Austin and going, dude, what the fuck? What's going on? What's up? And he's like, I sold him those. And they just did the cryptic camel all over it. And yeah, that was funny to me, watching all that go down.
Oh, I didn't even know about that.
All right, Bill, shut it. I've got Twizzlers down now, okay? Shut it. I've got like 10 feet left of that fucked up paracord, and I can't wait till it's gone.
No, I didn't know about the Rakuten thing.
Yeah, he sold a bunch of them to Hydro Tactical, and they literally stripped all the coating off them. I think it was just like a powder coating that CRKT did.
Hang on, I'm still listening. I'm going to go grab something.
Yeah, they turned around and they did a cryptic camo on the blade and on the handle and started selling them. And people lost their minds. And Austin was like, why? He bought them from me. I knew what he was doing. I don't care.
Well, even if he didn't buy them directly, as long as he bought them from somewhere, like whether it be him or CRKT, and then did the coating on it, I don't see a problem with that.
The only thing that caused the uproar is those are part of the Forged by War series. Right. So every single blade that gets sold, a charity gets a portion of that sale.
Right. So, no, I get that. But if you, for instance, if you're a shop owner, like for instance, River's Edge Cutlery, right?
Yeah.
They have a custom shop, so they'll buy knives, and they'll Cerakote them, and then they'll sell them.
That makes sense.
I don't know if they do it. I'm sure they do an upcharge because they have to pay for the materials. But if a company or a shop, I think, buys the knife outright from whatever company, and they do something special to it, whether it be some sort of coating or whatever, I think as long as they're only, in my mind, as long as they're only charging like for materials, and they're not doing like a super upcharge just because it's special.
Right.
Then I don't see a problem with that.
Yeah, neither do I. But it caused an uproar.
But I'm a part of the CRKT Underground group on Facebook, and I have the Rakusan.
Yeah,
but
I do too.
We did on one of the years we did a group logo on it.
Nice.
And the reason why I have it is because I did the logo.
Nice.
So
yeah, Austin was a guest on my show a little bit ago.
Oh, okay.
Great guy. He's going to be coming back on. He's been invaluable in helping me in certain things that I can't talk about right now, but I will be able to soon. But get some of these for your beard, brother. Chicago combs. Get you a pick and get you, I believe it's their number 8. Yeah, number 8.
Okay.
Game changing for your beard. Not that you need much
what is special about those compared to any other comb?
They're very affordable. They're carbon fiber. They don't pick up really static. They don't pull and tug on your beard when you're gliding them through.
Okay.
You're going to have a lot less breakage. You're going to have a lot less pulling and ripping out. Really, really, really great for your beard. Okay. Seriously. I mean, yeah. Of course.
Yeah, you'll have to send me a link for those. I'll check them out.
Well, look at that. It looks like you knew one of the guys. Yeah.
Oh. We chatted a while back on one of your. Oh, okay. I would have to see your real name, but back. Okay, so as I said earlier in the show, my real name is Terry Tobian. So originally on Facebook, I was going by that, and that's probably I'll have to go back and look at the posts, but
he's getting ready to start up his own channel and start talking about blades and whatnot.
Okay.
So I've already told him when he's ready to go, he's coming on here so we can hype up his channel.
Okay. Very cool. Yeah, I'd have to. I mean, just looking at Iron Wings, I mean, I don't. No offense, but I don't know who you are. I would have to look. I'd have to go back to the post or see your actual name to jog my memory.
And that's one of the things I think is really interesting about YouTube in general. When you start doing things, you start recognizing these names. You know, and
the thing though is it's not just YouTube. Like it's Instagram too. It's any platform that affords you a username.
Okay, Carl, company name for what, bud?
He might be talking about the company that did the coated Rakusan, maybe.
No, he can put it in there. He's Canadian. He can type slow.
I know. Anyway,
give him, huh?
And anyway, I think the interesting thing about usernames, like for instance, we have Stately EDC Discord server.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you're familiar with that or not.
Never used Discord at all.
Yeah. It's new to me too. And there are members on there that I don't know who they are because they're using a username. And it's not until they at some point post a picture of their EDC that they've posted elsewhere, either in the group or on Instagram or whatever, that it clicks in my head. Oh, that's so and so, and it's like, okay. So for me, it's like usernames are just the worst because you don't know who anybody is. Oh, the comb.
Chicago Combs. Seriously, Chicago Combs. You can find them on Amazon. They're usually right around the $10 mark. That'd be what, 15 Canadian with exchange rate, but you can find them really, really cheap. But
I do like the clever girls.
I do too. I like the folder more than I like the fixed blade. I really do. I love the locking mechanism.
I do like the fixed blade. I was gonna buy one of those a while back and I ended up not pulling the trigger, but I do wish that I had one of them. I think they were going to do one of those as well at some point, but I don't know if they followed through with that or not. Hey, admittedly, I'm not super active in that group anymore just because, life gets in the way sometimes.
Oh, yeah. And the fact that, I'll be honest, I've backed off a lot of social media just because it's becoming toxic. And I'm in a much happier place, not having to worry about, okay, I like Black Rifle coffee. Then I have 8,000 people telling me how much of an idiot I am. And it's like, oh, it's so nice I got out of bed this morning,
Well, I mean, you have a fairly decent following here on YouTube, so
hopefully hitting 5K soon.
Yes. I mean, you have over 4,000, followers, and or subs. I'm sorry, you have over 4,000 subs.
4,904 wonderful supporters that I love, each and every one of you, except if you're being jackasses and leaving me pornographic comments, and then YouTube catches it. I don't even have to see you anymore.
Oh my goodness, that's terrible.
Oh, no, you should see some of the stuff I've gotten recently.
I can't stand when people do that, and a lot of those people aren't even people; they're just bots. But
the bots I can handle because they're comical. Like on Instagram now, when they're like promoted on militaryblaze.com, promoted on socialmedia.com, promoted here, promoted there. And I'm like, do you not realize how aggravating you are right now? Or on YouTube, when you get the vzn.ru.ca. whatever, and you're like, no, bye.
There is a guy, not a bot, in the EDC community that is...
Be well, Carl.
Just trouble. Like, he's been kicked from just about every group. He runs his own group. He cold messages several people on Instagram and on Facebook, basically saying, "Hi, I'm going to say, I'm not going to say his full name, but for those of you that know him, he goes by Rudy."
Sadly, yes.
"Hi, my name is Rudy. I run this group. You should join it. This is great, blah, blah, blah." But it's so annoying. Like, he just sends you random posts, like sales posts. It's so bad. But he has scammed so many people, and he has created multiple accounts, and it's bad. It's just gross, really.
Oh, gee. Hey, stranger. How you doing out there, huh? Ain't heard from you in forever. Anyhow. No, I get weird things that... God, how can I put this? I get when you start to become successful, somebody is going to hate you simply because you got out of bed this morning and you posted a video.
Yes.
My all-time favorite comment recently started off with, "This guy's voice makes me want to punch a puppy dog." And I'm like, dude, if I inspire that much anger in you, please seek counseling. I can't change my voice. I've had it for about 50 fucking years now.
You know how you respond to that? You comment saying, "I have reported your comment to John Wick."
A pencil. A fucking pencil.
Exactly.
I swear to God, that's like the best line in any of the movies.
Some people just wake up and choose troll. Some people, and those people sometimes can be funny, depending on the situation, as long as it's, innocuous and it's not something that's super, heated or whatever, but some people just suck.
Yes.
And their only purpose in life is to just bring other people down. And
oxygen vampires is what I call them.
And sadly enough, there are a lot of those people in this community. And that's one of the things that we have tried to garner against in Stately is we want it to be an environment where you can, feel good about posting and just being a part of and things like that. Like, it's just, we don't put up with that kind of nonsense. Like, if you're starting crap and you're posting things that you shouldn't be posting, inappropriate or whatever, it's just, see ya.
Yeah, but one of the things, I do have to say this up front, because I've been with you almost since the beginning when you formed Stately. The admin team there is very, very good at doing it under the radar. It's never really huge. It's never really very publicly, unless it needs to be.
Mm-hmm.
Unless it's something that directly affects the integrity of the whole group.
Exactly.
You guys are very good about taking care of it under the radar.
There are some groups out there that very much thrive off of drama.
Right. Sorry.
And
right.
And
ammo's too high.
Yes.
Yeah,
But at least places have it now. At least around here there is.
Around here we do have we have toilet paper, so.
But yeah, I mean, there are some groups out there that just thrive off the drama, and they feel that they need to post about every little dramatic thing that happens, and they do it under the guise of, well, this is unacceptable. We're not going to allow this in future, blah blah blah. Okay, but you could have just deleted whatever it was and just left it as, unless it legitimately started a whole thing inside the group. And I get that, because that has happened, and we typically, we'll nip it in the bud and pretty quickly. I mean, and there are some things that we miss, but once we discover it, I mean, we take care of it as quickly as possible.
And you see, and that's seriously what I love. I've seen so many people in that group being supportive and uplifting people and sending just random ass gifts.
Mm-hmm.
Like when the bog monster reached out, he's like, dude, I need your address. My first thought is, no, you're not moving cross country and moving in with me. No, I know your Sasquatch ass would love to be running around the Pacific Northwest, but no.
He can help out with the kids.
They'd probably love him. But he remembered when I got my Benchmade proper, and I thought I ordered the one with the red micarta scales, but I got that greenish brown one. When he replaced his red scales, he sent me the red scales.
Okay.
And you see things all the time, going overseas or lending support to people who's had a recent tragic loss. And it's not like this big, huge, flashy, over the top. It's a family coming together and supporting each other.
It's pack life, essentially.
Yeah.
I mean, there's we play with the whole wolves thing in the pack, and wolves are in a pack and things like that. We play with that, and we bring it to the forefront of the group, because, I mean, realistically, that's what we're trying to garner here is a pack. We want our members to feel accepted. We want them to, we essentially have 5 core values, essentially. And it's loyalty, it's honor, it's respect, it's the pack, and then it's decorum. Those are our core values.
You forgot number 6. Always pick on Karl Heinz. It's always his fault.
It's not always his fault.
And Martha, a lot of people need to remember that. Unfortunately, way too many have forgotten that, and they love to criticize to try to make themselves look better.
See, I agree with that to a point. In terms of doing it privately, absolutely. But when I say that, I mean, if you're going to criticize somebody for something, reach out to that person directly and have a conversation with them. Because when you in my mind, and maybe I misunderstood what she's trying to say, but when I look at criticism, when it's done privately, sometimes it's sometimes done between two or more individuals that don't, that aren't the person that you're criticizing. So then it creates, a little bit of drama there. And quite honestly, I'm just not about the drama.
No, it's since I've put a lot of things in my life on pause, because I used to be really active with YouTube, going into people's live feeds and trying to communicate a bunch, active with stuff on Instagram, active with a whole bunch of stuff on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing what can happen. And I even contacted you about one of those accounts, the troll accounts that was going above and beyond and attacking on a personal level.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing. I'm a YouTuber. I'm a public figure. My channel is so small in the overall view of social media, but there's somebody out there who just goes, oh God, he posted another video. How can I destroy him? Just because.
Yeah. I mean, you're always going to have, I mean, when you're a public figure, whether it be somebody that has 4,000 plus subscriptions or somebody that has 3 million, I mean, yes, exactly. Criticism unless it's constructive, or ignore it unless it's constructive. I agree completely. There's always going to be somebody that's going to disagree with you just to disagree with you, just because
Right.
they again woke up and chose troll. That those people, and again, they suck.
I did a special video for one of them a while ago when I was reviewing a spork, and I didn't talk throughout the whole video. I just used a whiteboard and a marker and wrote everything on the whiteboard and held it up, then pulled it down, erased everything, wrote everything else, held the whiteboard back up. Because they were like, we hate your voice. Your voice sucks. Your voice is bad. Your voice is this. I'm like, all right, I got something for you. The whole video was silent.
Yeah.
Which is funny. It was one of the second most popular
here's the
videos I ever did.
Here's the thing that some people don't realize about the internet. You have the option to just scroll on.
Thank you.
You don't have to comment on every post. You don't need to watch every video. If you see a post from somebody you don't care for, just because you don't like the sound of their voice, guess what? You don't have to watch their videos. You can just scroll on.
And here's some comedy for all you guys watching this before we get to the serious part of the show like we usually do. With over 1,000 videos, approaching 5K in subs, the most successful thing I've ever done on my channel is called Mr. Ratchet Strap. He's the most popular thing ever on my channel. People love commenting on Mr. Ratchet Strap. It's become part of the damn every video I do for knife reviews and blade reviews and whatever else. So you just have fun.
I apologize, but I have to claim ignorance. I don't know what you're talking about.
Don't watch my videos. I see how you are.
I don't watch them all. I'm going to be honest. You post every day, and it's hard to keep up.
I try to post. I do 3 a week and a live stream on Tuesdays. I used to do 5 a week, and that was killing me.
I do miss a lot of the Tuesday videos just because, again, life. I mean, unless I have to set reminders. My mind is certainly not what it used to be.
Who are you talking to? Okay, thank God
I forget so much.
Thank God I have a Google Doc downstairs. I'm always setting reminders. We have a big calendar hanging on our wall with everybody's months and birthdays. I've got to write stuff on at least 5 different calendars around my house. But for my cut tests in the knife reviews, I do paracord, heavy duty stock paper, and a ratchet strap. Simple things you may do.
Oh, that's right. Okay. I do know what you're talking about now.
Yeah, but every single time I go to cut it, I go, and the star of the show, Mr. Ratchet Strap.
Okay. I do recall seeing you cut all of those things with said blades.
Yep.
I do not recall, and maybe it was I don't know. I don't recall the Mister being added in there, but that's beside the point. I do know what you're talking about now.
You know, I did add it on a while ago, and there's even gotten jokes about why am I gendering Ratchet Strap? How do I know it's not a Mrs. Ratchet Strap? You know, someone's going to serve me with a restraining order so I can stop cutting up Mr. Ratchet Strap. You know, it's taken on a life of its own. And someone even mentioned the next time I do a big giveaway, sign like a piece of the ratchet strap that I've cut off and like glue it to a baseball card somewhere.
Doing what? Say that again.
When I usually cut the ratchet strap, take that piece, sign it, glue it to like a baseball card.
Gotcha. Okay.
And so now I have a Mr. Ratchet Strap memorabilia card.
You could do that.
It's some of those things that you like to bring a little bit of humor to your life.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, when you're doing things like this, especially for you, when you're posting videos, whether it be daily or every other day, or as frequent as you do, you start to develop inside jokes.
Yes.
With not just yourself and who's ever, but the people that are watching the video and participating in the comments and whatever. Those, you develop these inside jokes that become they become a part of what your channel is.
Exactly. Just like with Stately and Panda Eyes, Mrs. Redacted, the teary one that we used on you for a little while, but still, Mr. Boyband, Bog Monster, Murder Basement, just like with Hayden, English.
Yep.
These things grow and they grow organically, and it's so great. But we're going to switch topics real quick.
Oh, God.
Yeah, we're going to go into mental health.
Okay.
Because we always do this. It's a big part of the show. And I know that COVID has changed a lot of things and a lot of people. Personally, I think overall we've lost that social interactive skill, because for the last year or so, we've been told if you get closer than 6 feet to someone, you're dead. You're a super spreader. You're going to catch the Rona. Right. You're gone. So it's amazing how when you're out in public now, how standoffish people are. It's like they're almost afraid. Does Michigan, have they lifted the mask mandates out there?
Yes. Only
if you have the shot, or just...
What's that?
Only if you've been vaccinated, or they've just lifted them totally?
If I'm remembering correctly, they lifted it for those that are vaccinated, but also I think they lifted it just in general.
Okay.
I could be wrong on that. Now, I'm going to say when it comes to the things that we've experienced over the last year and a half, I haven't necessarily had the same mindset as everybody else, or a good majority of people. And we got to a point where we couldn't really do it anymore. So when they lifted the mask mandate for like vaccinated, we were basically done wearing masks. And now admittedly we're not vaccinated, and we don't plan to, because there are so many unknowns with the vaccine. And I'm not trying to,
I know what you're saying.
I'm not trying to discourage. I mean, whatever your views are on the vaccine, it is what it is. But for us, we've been seeing a fertility clinic for the last year or so, and our fertility doctor told us, do not get the vaccine.
Yeah,
that was enough for us. So, just it's not something we have plans of getting now. For the company I work for, they are heavily talking about making it a mandatory thing, which if they do, there's going to have to be some conversation in our household in regards to whether or not I'm going to still be working for them.
See, I'll give you a joke. I got the Johnson & Johnson one, the one and done,
Mhm.
first to shut my better half up.
Okay.
It was just constant. You're old. You have asthma. You're a health risk. You're this. You're that. You're here. I'm like, maybe I want to die to get away from you guys. Just So finally I went, all right, the VA's calling. I went and got it there. Yeah. So you go in, you get your shot. You got to wait in that little area for 15 minutes to make sure you don't die or have any complications.
Or have any adverse reaction.
Yeah, like, grow a third eye or get superpowers, which I still haven't gotten. But still. And no, just for the record, with Johnson & Johnson, I can't put a magnet on my arm and have it hold there. I tried. Mythbusters.
I can't imagine any of that's necessarily true. I know that there's all those conspiracies and whatnot, but continue on.
Yeah, so the doc calls me up after everything's done, and he's like, you got to hydrate this weekend. Hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. I'm like, it's going to be a problem. And he gives me this look. He's like, why? I'm like, because it's my weekend to drink, and I'm going to be having a lot of vodka. He literally goes, maybe you should hold off. I'm like, Doc, you haven't met me. That's not going to happen. I'm like, I'll make you a deal. I'll chase my vodka with Gatorade. He just looked at me, handed me a lollipop, and went, there's the door.
The fact that he handed you a lollipop.
Seriously, handed me a lollipop.
That's killer.
Which I gave to the cuteness factor when I got out to the car. And I will say, for the record, I've had hangovers that felt worse than that Johnson & Johnson shot the next week.
Yeah.
No big deal.
I believe it. No, see, I don't know. Our COVID experience has been, well, I mean, based on what you hear in the news, has been completely different than everybody else's experience. So
I like some of what you were sharing about visiting relatives through the glass. And
yes, we did do that. Now,
connection,
So not to get into politics, because I don't like to get into politics, because that starts, that opens the floodgates to all sorts of things. But I will say this: my political views differ very much from my sister's, and my sister basically kind of drove it into my parents that COVID has very much the potential of being very bad for them. And that kind of eventually started to scare them as well. So, but that wasn't like in the first, few months or whatever. It got progressively worse. But so for us, it was, we did visit my parents on my mother's birthday through their front window, and we did things like that. I mean, we respected their boundaries. We respected that they wanted to social distance, and they didn't want, like, for the first, up until I think it was when was it? I think it was Mother's Day this year. I had not been more than 6 feet away from, or less than 6 feet away from, any of my family on my side. My wife's side's that's a completely different story. Like they didn't necessarily care too much. Like they were fine with us visiting and whatnot, but they're also younger than my parents. So, we respected their boundaries. We respected their wishes. We did the whole social distancing thing. We visited them through the glass, through their front window. We even did bonfires in their backyard where we were spread out, you know, and things like that. So I think it was Mother's Day this year was the first time, because my parents both got vaccinated. I think my sister did as well. That was the first time I was able to hug any of them in over a year. And so for that was a very weird feeling. And it was a tad bit, I mean, it didn't bring out the waterworks by any means, but it was a little emotional. It did get emotional. But for us, COVID was kind of one of those things where we
my amigo.
we learned pretty quickly that quarantine was already our lifestyle.
Okay, see, that's what I was about to go down this road with, because from what I've known of you guys, you're really like, leave us alone. This is our castle. You come in our castle, we might attack. Not
I
in a
wouldn't say
bad way,
that.
guys.
Like, we like hanging out with friends, and we like getting together with family, but we also like just staying at home and watching Netflix, you know,
Yeah,
or whatever. So for us, we didn't really change a whole lot about our day-to-day lives. Like, it was
Vato said it. Vato said it. Not me. Vato said it.
Oh, there you go. For us, it was, you know, you wake up, because my wife was already working from home full time.
Yeah.
And because of COVID, I was allowed to work from home full time. So it was wake up, work, end work, make dinner, walk, you know, just hang out Monday through Friday. And then you know, the weekends came and we kind of just did that a little bit more. The only thing that, I mean, we used to go out and go out to dinner and go to movies and things like that. And we just really hadn't done that, you know?
Yeah, but I have noticed since the mask restrictions have been lifted, you guys are going out more.
Oh yeah, I mean, the second that even when they lifted it just for the vaccinated, we were going out and without mask. Like, we were done with masks.
Oh God, yeah.
Because, I mean, for various reasons, we were done with them. But, I mean, I don't know. I there's not a lot that I can say that may or may not ruffle feathers. So I you know, I'll just leave it at that.
You're good. So COVID really didn't affect you guys because it really didn't hamper your lifestyle. Now,
there were different things over the year that, on a mental health standpoint, there were different things during the year that affected us, but realistically, COVID wasn't one of them.
Okay. See, now for me, I was happy to get that mask off so I could use other beard products, because when you mask up and you have oil in, you get really acquainted with that oil.
I have not worn a mask out in public in so long that I had a doctor's appointment today where they had me put a mask on, and I was not happy about it. I was like, I don't want to. And they're like, well, you have to. I was like, well, I'll reschedule. Truthfully, that's not really how that went down. Like, I truthfully, I ended up being about 10 minutes late for my appointment. So they were like, yeah, we're going to have to reschedule, just because I thought it was at a different time than when it was really at, which is completely my fault. But my mindset when I went in there and they were like, here's your mask, I was like, where's the trash?
Right.
Thanks for the garbage.
Yep. No, I hated it because the beard products, and you get that steam going, you get really acquainted with it. And yeah, there's
that, but for the other part, like, as far as the masks go, like, I had to get Kim to make several different styles of masks for me, because I was tired of the standard where it cuts down at the chin and then I would have this crease like right here. Like, I'm not doing that. No. I didn't grow this beard for over a year to have this crease be the thing people see if and when I take this off.
Well, I'm going to say it like this, and I'm going to move on to one other part, because I hear my kids loading Nerf guns. We usually have a Nerf fight every Tuesday. So
okay.
The first time I had to put a mask on with a big old beard and whatnot, I wish I was making this up. My better half goes, "You're not happy, are you?" I'm like, "No." Now I know what you guys look like in the 70s.
Oh my God.
My channel, I can get away with it.
No, but like I said, for us, mental health wise, it was different things. I mentioned earlier that we were doing fertility stuff that weighed pretty heavily on us over the last year or so. It still weighs on us a little bit now. I mean, there's a lot going on behind the scenes that we don't necessarily bring out to the public.
I'm not going to ask. Don't worry. I
And-
love
and,
and respect
I mean,
you guys way too much.
we're happy to. I mean, we'll talk about it. It's again, we're very much introverts. You know, like we don't. I don't know. We don't really seek the attention by spilling what's going on in our life. You know what I mean?
No, I get you. Now, guys, I'm going to tell you, if you're into everyday carry and you want a really good online family, go look up Stately EDC. It's a great group. You're not going to regret joining it. You're really, really, truly not. But we are at that point where I'm going to hit you with this, and nothing bad. Here's a challenge that I throw out to everybody, okay?
Yep.
Because like we've been talking about, we've lost that social interaction. When you're in a store now and someone's got a mask on and you don't, there's that standoffish kind of feeling.
We have experienced that.
There's a lot of people out there. If you look at the statistics alone, it's sobering and it's scary in itself. Domestic violent rates have gone up. Alcoholism has gone up. Drug relapses have gone up. Unfortunately, suicides have gone up. And you guys know I talk about this an awful lot on my channel. If you're going to do something permanent for a temporary problem, reach out. Reach out, make a phone call. Yes. I may not understand what you're going through mentally, but I will listen. Sometimes your demons get a lot easier to handle when you have somebody to share them with. But here's my challenge. Call 3 people this week. Call 3. Call 3 you haven't talked to in a while and just go, hey, how you doing? Yeah, I know I've been a shithead. I haven't talked to you in a while. I'm just checking in and making sure you're okay. Because you never know what that person's going through, and you never know how much that phone call might mean to them and make them feel better about themselves.
Mm-hmm.
There is that old saying, and I love bringing it up because I know I'm so guilty of this and my own stupidity. They may not always remember your name, but they're going to remember how you treated them.
Yep.
Make it a good impression. Make it a great impression. And Bobby, bro, I get it. Thanks for stopping in, man. But guys, call people. Just call them. 3. If you can't call 3, call 2. You can't call 2. Now I got to make sure I grab the right finger. Call 1. All right? But call somebody.
I did want to add, I was going to try to add it before you
Oh, I always turn it over. No, I always turn it over. I go,
okay.
Would you like to add anything? So you're a step ahead.
I did want to add kind of to your plug for Stately EDC, our Facebook group. We're a big advocate for mental health.
Yes.
We always, whenever we see a post from somebody that's having a hard time, we always try to lift them up and make sure that they know that they have a support system. And that's one of the things that Stately EDC is for people, is a support system. So if you do decide to, look us up and join, just know that if you're ever having a hard time, there's always somebody there that is happy to, have a chat with you and help you through your difficult time.
Yeah, see, I agree with that so much. I mean, the 22 is a real number, and that's just a small sample size. I don't care what politicians are saying. That's a very, very small sample size of, I think it was 6 states that would actually release that info. We lose way too many of our brothers and sisters every single day. The veteran community, we really need to step it up instead of trying to tear ourselves apart by being jealous because this vet group is doing better than that vet group. And oh my God, you were FOBIT, but you weren't over here and you weren't. Knock it off. We're all vets. We all raised our hand. We all took the oath and we all stepped up for this nation. But that's another subject for another night. All right, guys, I do this all the time. I've got tomorrow's video preloaded. It's something new from Gerber that they've been going, coming soon. They finally got it out, finally got it in, shot my video on it. If you know that series, it is very, very affordable for an everyday carry blade. So it may be something you might want to check out. I would normally ask my guests, so what do you have coming up this week, Terry? But I'll tell you, he's going to do a load of laundry. He's going to get his dress jammies for work, and he's going to have a ball.
I don't know about any of that.
Nice.
No. No,
airframes on my channel.
If that's a serious question, is in terms of what I have going on this week, it's work, and then this weekend we're doing things with family. We have an open house for my goddaughter going on, and then that's pretty much about it. Now next week I'm going over to Chuck's house to help him build a fence.
Yeah, you tell that pump jock to get his ass online. He's running and ducking and dodging. So yeah. Anywho, on that wonderful note, guys, at this point, I do not have a guest scheduled for next week. I think I'm going to get outside of my comfort zone and just talk about some stuff. And because normally I've been doing interviews for well over a year, and I've barely done this is just me talking. So I may do that next week. Don't quote me. I may, but never know what's going to happen. But on that wonderful note, guys, we're about to hit that outro. Terry, don't go anywhere because I'm going to talk to you in that green room. But guys, love y'all, and we'll see you in our very, very next video.
Hey, thanks for having me, and thanks to those of you in the chat for sticking around.
Guys, thank you so much for the time you just gave me. I hope you enjoyed our guest tonight, if we had one, and yes, I'm pre-recording this, or that you might have enjoyed an open mic night or whatever the heck just happened. We're going to try to do these every single Tuesday at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, and whatever you guys are in between and around the world. Next week, we should have another amazing guest or something really cool for you to watch. Thanks so much for watching all this stuff, guys, and we'll see you in our next one.